Hey guys, this is Larry, and we have a GC1 player. Oh, this is we're watching the first game.
Yeah,
Oh, Ashley. Okay, Ashley's gonna go over this first game here, and these are just plat players on a 3v3 game. Thanks, Ashley.
no problem. Okay, so we're just gonna look fly overview. I'm just gonna kind of the main thing I'm watching for is your guys' rotations. That's the main thing. Individual playing doesn't really matter as much in threes because it's more about the cohesiveness of your rotations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta make sure the rotations are good. So that's where the individual comes in, is where your decision making is. Deciding where to go, how to position, when to rotate. That's where the individual comes in. But in threes, it's all about the team. It's all about the team. It's all about playing cohesively. It's all about playing with each other. It's all about covering each other's mistakes. Um, in twos and ones, it's more about individual skill. You're gonna see much more mechanical games. You're gonna see much more outplays. You're gonna see a lot of controlling the ball. As in threes, you're gonna see more passing opportunities. You're gonna be looking for more passes. You're gonna be looking for things to break down the opponent's rotations. Um, and you're gonna be looking for to cover uh positions in your rotation. So let's, let's start. Okay, first I'm gonna look at this kickoff. It's kind of weird. Okay, no, never mind. It's just either team. Easy missed here. That's just unfortunate mechanical failure. The only thing fixing that is just some free play and some games. That's just unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. This is interesting. So cheesy messes. Pretzel's rotating out. He went up for kickoff. He was first man in this situation. So now he's rotating out to a third man position. Now, third man, you, Larry, pushing up.
Mm-hmm.
We should be starting to fill in the second man slot. That that there's nobody in the second man position, right? He should be rotating out to back. Well, near post in this situation because that's kind of being real. Like if we try to go for back post, that might take too much time. The situation may not account for that. So what happens? So what we need to do is Larry needs to be pushing up and going for this ball. Cheesy needs to be getting out too. He needs to be following behind because this miss, he's now behind the ball. In this, like if we just imagine that this is in front of the ball and this is behind the ball, this is behind the ball and this is not where you want to be.
Yeah.
This you do nothing. You do nothing essentially. You can't hit the ball this way, which is the way we want to go. We don't want to hit it this way, except for situations where you have to keep possession. But we'll go over that. It's not really even a thing in 3v3. Um, if you're trying to hit the ball, like if you're trying to recover here, like Cheesy does, and trying to hit the ball, you're just gonna mess up your teammate, which is exactly what happens. You get messed up, take a bad 50. It's unfortunate. So Cheesy should also be trying to get out, along with Pretzel. Pretzel needs to show some more initiative with rotating out. Like the boost is good, but like it's just too slow. This is just too slow. You could be at least flipping back, right? You need to be covering what's not being covered. And right now, there's no third man because Pretzel's still rotating. Cheesy's completely messed up. You just took a bad 50. There's no third man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm talking about with cohesion. You every slot's got to be filled. You got to play your roles. You got to rotate. If no one's rotating, then roles don't get filled. Gaps in your rotation appear. Opportunities to score begin. Right? In this situation, all this guy needs to do is just stay with the ball, which he does, and take a good shot. He misses because he's bad at the video game. But that could have easily been a goal. And as you get better, as you get a higher rank, that's going to be a goal, right? It doesn't matter necessarily what's happening now. Okay, so he did miss, but what if he didn't miss, right? You
Yeah.
can't just leave things up for chance.
In my head, I was like, okay, well, that was a mess up. I just can't let them have a free ball. So that's why I went up. Like, that was like.
Yeah, you did good. You did good, Larry. You did good.
Uh-huh.
You did great. This is exactly what you needed to do. The problem here is Cheesy and Pretzel. Um,
They didn't do their parts, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Pretzel's not rotating. He's just refusing to rotate at the speed he needs to, and Cheesy's sticking with the play way too long. Like he's out of the play now. He can't do anything. He should get out. So he can do something. He can do a lot more here as third man or as second man than he can in front of the ball trying to scramble backwards to hit it. If all he has to do is drive this way, take some flips, grab some boost pads. That's all he has to do. But he sticks with the ball, right? He sees ball, he wants to hit the ball, and that's no bueno. And Pretzel, like I said, he's no initiative. There's no um. There's a word I'm looking for.
Fire under you. Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no drive to go, back and defend, right? And it leaves this massive gaping room in your rotation, in your positions, in your roles. There's no third man. Cheesy ends up being third man, which is odd in a way, because with Cheesy, how Cheesy was playing, Pretzel should be third man. Cheesy should still be trying to rotate out. Pretzel took so much time that Cheesy was able to. This is odd. Yeah, but Cheesy ends up eventually covering third man. But yeah, this could have been so much cleaner. This so much stress is put on you guys because.
Oh, this is the exact reason why we're doing these replays, so we
Yeah.
don't make the same mistakes again. Hopefully.
Yeah. This is no bueno. Now, to be honest, what you did was correct if they did their job. If they did their job, what you did was correct, right? But you're also you're still forfeiting third man.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're still forfeiting third man, right? You're still going up. Perfect time to go up if they just did their job and they didn't do their job. And this is what I was talking about more so the individual, right? Like this, it's up to you to decide what to do here. And you made the correct decision, assuming that they did right, right? So going up is fine, but like at a certain point, you have to notice, oh my god, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah. The only thing I was thinking was that B guy, Beated, was gonna like bang the ball in if I didn't do anything. So I know I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand that panic, but we got time. We got a lot of time. Let's see how long it takes for Beated from this situation. So right here, count. Let's just count the seconds. So 4:59. We'll see at what point. Well, so 4:57. That's 2 seconds. 2 seconds to repossession. That's a lot of time. I would say that's a lot of time. You can go back around and be back post 2 seconds. Which at this point, when you're like right here and you're like you're figuring out, oh, this is not going right. They're not rotating out in time. Then you just go back.
Okay, good point. I didn't even think of that as a possibility, but now I know. Now I have an idea that hey, that is a possibility.
Yeah. Something I teach is to teach yourself. But you gotta, sometimes it's hard to see all the possibilities. Like, one thing I tell people to do when I'm one-on-one coaching generally, is I tell them to look over their own replays and just consider what you could do. Like, what? So for example, like in this, let's just go to a random point in this play. Let's just say random person, Pretzel. What could Pretzel do? You could do quite a lot, right? You could go for that boost. You could try to bump. You could try to rotate out. You could try to go for the ball, right? You gotta consider all these possibilities. So what if you go for a bump? Oh, you don't got a lot of boost.
Hmm.
You are high momentum, so Pretzel is high momentum here, so could actually get a bump or this boost because of positioning, but you might cut off your teammates. So, and this is it. You got to consider all the possibilities, but it's hard. It's oftentimes hard to think about everything,
Yeah, especially in the
right? So
limited time that you have, like to think. Yeah.
yeah, especially in game, yeah, you're not thinking about everything like
Yeah.
that. That what I was saying about like I said, considering all the possibilities. That's more so for like your own replay analysis. You can review your own replays, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
And but yes, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see that okay, back post is. It's kind of hard to see that. I will
Yeah.
admit, unless you know it's there.
Yeah.
Well, and so sometimes you do need a little
Reminder.
do need a little guidance, and that's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Thanks. Yep. All right,
So
let's see if we can continue this.
yeah. So after this, so we got to consider now what we're doing. So like I said, everybody, third man needs to be filled. Somebody's got to fill it. You're not filling it, and Cheesy shouldn't be filling it. Pretzel is the one that should be filling this third man position. Uh, Cheesy shouldn't fill it because of he's literally going backwards. Uh, because of Pretzel's hesitation to go back. Cheesy has to fill it. He shouldn't have to.
Hmm.
He should be rotating out pretty standard. These guys should be swapped. Pretzel should be where Cheesy is, and Cheesy should be where Pretzel is. This is not right.
Okay.
Uh, Again, like I said, it's not right because look,
No, I
he's
agree. I
already
agree.
yeah, but I know it's kind of obvious, but it's going to reiterate points to drill it into your head. Generally, like 3 or 4 times. I gotta say something like 3 or 4 times before people get it. Generally,
Oh yeah. No. Well, what I'm gonna do is, at least with the replay, what you could do is like say it three of like just say, hey, watch this back 3 or 4 times, and people can just go back and watch it 3 or 4 times.
yeah, yeah, and then you kind of learn all the
Yeah,
mechanics
that's what
that
I
are
will
needed.
do at least. Watch what the video says. Say, hey, this is an important point. Watch it about 3 or 4 times, and they can go back and forth and watch it as much times as they want.
Yeah, yeah. I'm only going to cover the first 60 seconds of this replay because that's where you get your meat. That's where you get your meat
Uh,
generally. And also I don't want to be here for 7,000 years.
I know exactly. That's what I was like. Oh my god, it's only the 5 seconds, and it's been like 10 minutes talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, the replay reviews are really, really long, generally speaking, because you have to get these points made, right? And that's why really only cover generally about 60 seconds of replay, is because you see enough to cover like 90% of the mistakes that you make consistently in the first minute.
Okay.
You're going to make all the mistakes you're going to make throughout the game in your first minute of game. It's going to be the same mistakes over and over.
Hmm.
The only thing that we forfeit by only doing 60 seconds is really specific situations, but at like platinum, it really does not matter.
Yeah, definitely.
It's more at this level is more about the principles, learning the principles. So that's why we only go like when you guys get to like champ or grand champ, that's when we're going to be going over the specific situations. We're going to breeze right past through all of this because you already know everything that's
Hmm.
going wrong. You should know that by now. but
Yeah.
you don't know these specific situations that are kind of messy and you don't come across
Yeah,
often.
I'm not worried about Grand Champ right now, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can skip
we're
that.
this
Yeah.
is all platinum gameplay, so we're just learning some basic principles. So
Thanks.
okay, so let's get this position. Uh, your objective, Larry's objective should be get back fast
Mhm.
because you're way away from the play. You're very far away from the play. You can't do anything over here. Not to mention, uh, your team is having a seizure over here, right? So your objective should be to get back as fast as possible. Get
Mhm.
preferably here,
Yeah.
given the situation. Uh, like the situation may adapt, which it does adapt. Crystal pushes it mid, but even then, this still straight to back post. Well, I guess it was back post in this situation, in that situation, and
Mhm.
then you can go straight up, right? You kind of it's good to go for big boost only when it's in your way. You have enough boost here. You have 12, 24, 36, 48, maybe even 50, whatever that is, 50, 60
Okay,
boost.
that's fine.
You don't really need that much boost. It's just kind of a waste. You go for this, a waste of time, right? Because you can get enough boost to play without going out of your way for it.
Mhm.
Because this is out of your way. This is not. These pads right here are not out of
Yeah,
your way.
I
They're
was
actually,
trying to go for it. Let's see if I think I was.
yeah, you got a few
Oh,
of them, but you
I
still,
went for the farther. Yeah, and then yeah.
yeah, you could have gotten this pad or even this pad, and even this pad, or even this pad
No,
too.
I get it. I
Um,
got some feedback about taking wider turns, so that's why I was trying to keep that in mind.
Wider turns are good, like but the pads kind of follow a wide turn.
Huh? The what?
Uh, we can hold on. See, okay, so see this turn, right? This is still a pretty wide turn. This is sharp, right? This it gets
Oh, okay.
sharp right here,
Mhm.
but this is also out of your way, and you don't have time to make this wide.
Oh, I see. I see.
If you're making this really, if you want in certain situations, yeah, you can go ahead and get this mid boost and this back boost, right? That's going to be real nice and wide, right? But you don't have that time. You just don't have that time.
Mhm.
Um, I can't. I think on the t-shirt.
I see. I see.
Yeah, so you just don't have, and in this situation especially, you just don't have that time. Um,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
want to cover.
Yeah. I got you. So I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Another thing is you're wasting boost. Whenever you're not playing the ball, don't use boost. You just flip. Uh,
Oh, okay.
if you're not like yeah, if you know for the next 3 seconds you're not going to be playing the ball, you can just use flips instead of boost.
Okay.
The reason we use boost while getting around is just to make sure we don't overcommit like super hard, while still keeping up our speed. Like if you flip it into like if you flip, say your pretzel and you flip over here, right? What happens if like kick is over here and he takes an aerial, right? That's not going to be good. You're just going to be out of position. But we can boost here, and that's just going to gives us a little bit more movement opportunities, right?
Mhm.
If you can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
So really
Let me just
only
check
like I
something.
said.
Let me just check something. Just hold on 1 second. I want to make sure that I can hear your audio in these videos. All right, cool. Hey guys, this is. Oh, this is the exact reason why we're doing these replays, so we don't
Yeah.
make the same mistakes. Okay, cool. It's working.
Okay. Give me two. Okay.
All right, cool, cool.
Yeah. So yeah. So your job right here is go back as fast as
All right, I got
really as
it. I
fast as
got it.
possible. Um, CZ does well for recovering. You know, he messes up completely here, but he understands that he has to get back and cover the net, which he does well. So I don't really have any complaints about what Cheesy did in this specific situation. Like from this point onwards. But yeah, Cheesy missing the ball and then continuing to go for it. That's what made this situation a losing situation.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I just it's gonna take like 2 hours to get through. We're only on the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Can we let's let's see what else is
All right.
important.
So I like what Pretzel did, but I don't think he had the intention behind it to back it. I think he was just hitting the ball just to hit the ball.
Out, yeah.
Uh, this is a good touch because it's playing it towards you. I think more so, probably harder and a little bit less of an angle off the net instead of like this way. It's more so like that way
Mhm.
would be slightly better. Um, because it's a pass to you, right? If it's like more so like right up here, like if I'm the ball, right? If I'm the ball, this is would be slightly better,
Mhm.
right up here, because it's not so close to the opponents, right?
Yeah.
And it also gives you a little bit more time to hit the ball. It gives you a chance to hit the ball. So I like what Pretzel did, and that's the reason I don't think it was intentional, is because of how midfield it was.
Mhm.
Uh, I think if it was intentional, it would be more so towards you, right? That's the
Mhm.
idea for this touch. Just touch it towards you, and then because look at how they're positioned. There's nobody really back. Both of these people, if they get beat at the same time.
Yeah, and what I was
And
thinking
this
is
person,
at a plot level, I don't think like he was trying to hit it towards me in general. I think he was just making sure the ball doesn't just float above the goal. So just
yeah.
like hit it
But
away from
we,
the
we gotta
yeah.
we gotta make a distinction between making a good play and making a bad play in this situation, because this touch, making a touch out midfield is like one of the worst things you can do, because
Yeah.
it just goes right into the opponents. It would be better just to leave it.
Like it would have been better to
Actually,
not even hit it. You think?
yeah. If you're just gonna make it a touch into midfield in this situation, you might as well just leave it, because
Oh.
that's it's gonna end up in the same situation anyways.
Yeah, I thought. I mean,
Uh,
I don't really hit shots like this. Like Pretzel's more mechanical than me, but I thought he was trying to hit that left mid boost there. I thought he was hitting for that area. Like you see where it's
it
going.
goes
Yeah,
that way,
yeah.
but I don't think that's going in
It wasn't
Adria's
hard
head.
enough.
This is
Yeah,
just gonna be touch.
yeah. All right, cool. Let's continue.
Yeah,
Continue.
we always have to have intention behind our touches. We always got to make sure what we're doing makes some logical sense. You have to have one reason. Just think of a reason to do something
Yeah.
and just do it. It
Uh-huh.
might be a bad reason, but at least you have a reason,
Don't have
right?
the ball in
You
front of the
don't just make
goal.
a touch without reason.
Yeah.
This is why this is bad. It could have been good. It could have been really good, but this is bad because it ends up in the opponent's hands.
Yeah.
Uh, you're actually there right in time to cover it, but it still was a pretty bad because
Mm-hmm.
it's just a pass. Um, it's just a pass to the opponents.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
a
I
pass to the
got it.
teammate.
Got it.
That's the difference.
Let's just continue.
Without intention, it just goes wherever, and then with intention, it just goes to you.
All right. Got it.
So yeah, you did well there. Cheesy should be. I don't know where Cheesy's going. Cheesy should just be staying back post here to cover this third man role. As the play pushes up this way, then he can come out, right? But
Yeah.
this
This is
play
the
is still
important
playing.
things to go over. Why did he push up? He should have just waited.
Yeah, like this, you're still going to be back post. Maybe starting to push up at this point, but still generally back post here. It's not until like right here that you're going to be wanting to push up. Like, and you see where Cheesy is. He's completely gone. You should be only pushing up like right up. You should be like right here
So
by now.
cheesy should only be right there. Okay. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, he pushes up way too preemptively.
Yeah.
I think the reasons he did it is important to go over the reasons why these decisions were made to enforce why not,
Well,
right?
that's why I said we should just do it when he's here, so hear his thought process. But yeah.
Yeah, but any thought process is going to be a wrong thought process, except for the
Yeah.
right one. So,
Gotcha.
there's a lot of right thought processes. There's a lot of bad thought processes. What matters is that at least it's decent, right? As long as
Hmm.
you have a reason.
Me
Cheesy
personally,
should
I would wait because I see like, okay, I'm in last man position, and that's a good position to be at. Me, if I was cheesy, I would just wait because
yeah, and
look at our
that's reasonable.
teammates. Yeah, we're
That's
not.
definitely reasonable. I think what Cheesy does here is a C ball hit ball. I think he's also panicking from the threat of a possible score, so he's trying to beat the opponents to a ball that everybody's beating into.
All right, yeah, okay, that's true. All right, we got that. All right, let's just
I
fix
like
that.
how Pretzel recovers, but then he pushes up way too far.
Yeah,
You should be following this ball since from your point of
I
view,
was yeah, I was going for a boost. They're on the way, like
yeah, you're
reading it.
definitely first man in this position. Um, Another thing is sometimes it's good to do what Pretzel did here and cut off. Only in a situation where, like, you know, like if the opponent was going for an aerial here and you just refuse not to, like if you just don't,
Hmm.
your brain just doesn't work fast enough to make that aerial.
Yeah,
Then in this situation only then in this situation is Pretzel going for this ball any good. But there's no pressure. There's zero pressure. This is just ball chasing from Pretzel.
yeah, and he didn't voice call that he's doing it or anything on Discord.
Yeah, it's just straight
Yeah,
up
I
ball
was
chasing,
going. I
which
saw
is
him.
fine.
Yeah,
But we gotta make sure we're not doing this. Pretzel should
exactly.
be right about here.
I didn't see that he was going for the ball. I was just yeah.
Actually, yeah, Pretzel should be right. That would be preferable.
All right.
And Cheesy should be back. It does end up being a shot, but
Yeah.
that's a shot you could have made.
I know. I was kind of mad it
Just
happened, but I was like, okay, well, whatever. You know.
Yeah, it
Uh,
happens. You can't get mad at your teammates for doing
yeah.
dumb things because you'll do dumb things too.
Yeah, I
Everyone
know.
does dumb.
I'm not perfect. Yeah, I make mistakes too. That's why I'm plat.
Yeah. Actually, we'll just go over one more situation. This is kind of dragging on, and we'll work on the upper replay too. Um, let's just work on this situation, and then we'll go start on the upper replay because it's kind of the same thing over and over again, even
Yeah.
with 8 seconds on the clock.
Mhm.
But that's the thing. It's the same thing over and over again. If you fix the thing you're doing over and over again, then
Yeah.
okay. Ball chasing. Everyone's ball chasing. You're the only one that's not ball chasing, to be honest. Uh,
Yeah. I'm not trying to.
Pretzel controlling this, perfect idea. You have space, but you gotta play around this person, which is what Pretzel does. Doesn't control it perfectly, but I don't expect it, right? The fact that he wanted to control it in the opponent instead of into the opponent, that's perfect, right? So Pretzel did, right? I don't have any arguments with Pretzel. Uh, Something you should keep in mind when you're rotating is where the play is going to go. And we can imagine that the play is going to be ending up this way, right? Because
Mhm.
of Pretzel's facing that way, he's going to hit it that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the play is generally going to go this way, and pretty much in any situation, no matter what happens, hitting this ball is going to go that way still.
Mhm. So
So
you
what ends up being far post?
this we're closer to where Cheesy's at. Yeah, right there. Mhm. That
Yeah,
post.
that would end up being far post, not this. This ends up being near post after a few
Ah.
seconds because the play ends
Okay.
up over here.
Okay, that's true.
You go for what was immediately near post.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, well, you go for what was immediately far post, and this is
Mhm.
not you gotta play ahead of the play, or else you'll always be following.
It's hard for me to process all this. Like that's why Rocket League's a harder game for me. It's mentally.
It
Like
is a
I
pretty
told
hard
you
game.
my issues mentally. It's hard for me. Like I just see ball and I just know the rule rotate opposite ball side, and
Yeah.
that's been like hardwired in my head. So that's why I went over there.
What you can do is try to watch the opponents, everybody on the field, because the ball isn't going to move on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You can try watching the opponents, and that will generally give you a better idea of how things are going to end up. There's just a little simple awareness tip. You just watch the players and the ball.
Okay.
Because you can kind of just see, where it's going to be going, right? I'm watching Pretzel, right? I see that he's going to go for a touch. He's going to hit it that way, so I know that this is going to be purpose. Here, Cheesy completely ball chases, and yeah, that's the kicker right here. Cheesy completely ball chases, takes it away from Pretzel and right into the opponent. Yeah, and then Cheesy refuses to rotate. Not trying to go back at all or nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're doing these videos, and it's my mental issues. It's hard for me to read all those situations. I just know rotate opposite ball side, so it's very hard for me to like, figure out when to use those rules.
I'm sure you'll eventually get it. Give me 1 minute.
Do you also need a third or no?
We can, yeah, but we're watching a replay. Why don't you watch this with us, Fish?
Okay.
He's teaching us. I'm on OBS too, recording it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, this is the longest 20 seconds of my life. 30 seconds, but I appreciate it, Coach. Coach.
And he's gone.
Coach? Wait, did he leave?
I don't know, he's just muted.
Oh, I think he's talking to his wife or husband.
Okay.
Where are you at, bro?
Okay, I'm back.
All right, cool.
So, like I said, that was the last situation we're gonna look over in this replay because again, it's just the same thing. So we'll look at the other replay. Oh, whoops,
Actually, let me make this stop recording this one